A civil society in Rivers State is asking the government and its agencies to find a lasting solution to the constant flooding disasters ravaging some communities. Correspondent Uche Okoro reports this formed part of discussions at a meeting held in Port Harcourt, where the impact of the floods was discussed.
It is no longer strange that around this time every year, floodwaters sweep through many coastal communities in Rivers State. Many residents relocate before the floods come, but others with no alternative shelter are forced to wait for the arrival of their annual visitor. Worried about this trend, these civil society activists want government and other stakeholders to be proactive in handling the situation.
I think there is need to actually adopt measures to address the issues once and for all. And besides, government is aware that these issues keep coming up, because when it happens, camps are set up to move affected community members to those camps. I remember last year we visited camps in Ahoda West. But then there is no show of preparedness towards if it comes again, what happens.
There are some reports that by 2030, we may even have most of Niger Delta submerged by water. So it is not something that our government should be sitting to wait to see whether flood will come or will not come. Like this year's flood, Nimet gave enough warning, enough time for people to plan. And I'm surprised that in Rivers State, we didn't have any plan in place.
Many people have been displaced, farmlands washed away, and roads submerged in the Orashi region of Rivers State. But of special concern is the effect of flooding on schools in affected areas.
Very soon they will set exams. Very soon there will be midterm break. So those schools who are flooding, they will lose out. The academic year is out already. So what will the curriculum do for them this year? Is it going to be something that you're going to impact to them next year? No. It means that the children will be at a disadvantaged position.
If you get to Ebema Grammar School now, you cannot have access to the school. Children have to wade through the water to get to the school. And why it is worrisome is that last year, a child actually drowned at the gate there, the gate of Ebema Grammar School, though it was not reported. So this year again, you see children passing through the same waters to go to school.
Many victims are harvesting their cassava and other food crops prematurely due to the flood. So for them, there is urgent need for government intervention to provide food for displaced persons, many of whom cannot return to farming for now. Uche Okoro, TVC News, Port Harcourt.
Two groups want the federal government to immortalize Stella Adadevoh, the woman who halted the spread of Ebola in Nigeria. The Nigeria Guild of Medical Directors and the Center for Impact Advocacy celebrated her 63rd posthumous birthday with colleagues and friends. Moyo Thomas reports.
Stella Adadevoh, the medical doctor that paid the ultimate prize in curbing the spread of Ebola virus in Nigeria, was born on the 27th of October, 1956. Emotions run high as this church lit a candle in her memory to mark her posthumous birthday. She died from an Ebola infection brought into the country by a Liberian diplomat, Patrick Sawyer, on the 19th of August, 2014. What may have happened in the country is better left to imagination had Dr. Stella Adadevoh not insisted that Patrick Sawyer be quarantined despite diplomatic pressure to release him.
Patrick Sawyer was the head of the national unit of ECOWAS in Liberia. The meeting we were supposed to attend was an annual retreat of the heads of national unit in Calabar, involving the leadership of ECOWAS. If he had gone to Calabar, we were asking ourselves question, what would have happened? Because it would have affected the entire leadership of ECOWAS that time, senior officials, and also heads of national unit from other countries. I could imagine the ripple effect of that.
The spread of Ebola epidemic in West Africa was very dire between 2013 and 2016. Though the virus was first recorded in Guinea, Sierra Leone and Liberia were the worst hit for the disease. 10,675 cases were reported in Liberia, with 4,809 deaths before it was contained. Sierra Leone recorded 14,124 cases and 3,956 deaths. Guinea had 2,543 deaths from the 3,811 cases it recorded. Mali had 8 cases and 6 died out of the 8. 12 people of the 20 recorded to have contracted the virus in Nigeria survived, with the country recording only 8 deaths, one of which was Dr. Stella Adadevoh. Her efforts, together with the medical team on duty the day Patrick Sawyer was taken into the hospital, helped save the lives of thousands or even millions of Nigerians. She has since been honored by private individuals and organizations, including Google. ECOWAS, at the last Heads of State and Government Summit, also honored her. But her friends and colleagues consider it important that Nigeria, her home, where she lay her life for, should also confer her with a posthumous national honor.
Our prayer is that the government of Nigeria will see heroism in what this woman has done and establish something in her memory so that people will be true compatriots in Nigeria.
Speaking on behalf of the Guild of Medical Directors, all private practitioners in the country, we are calling on government, we are urging government to do something in memory of Dr. Adadevoh. Name something after her, give a holiday in her name, something, anything.
Over 5 years she's gone. The Nigerian government has not officially put her in the annals of time through the law that will make her name and others like her to be gazetted. And once she is gazetted, the Ministry of Education can now start even pushing out things that will have to do with her and her heroism in the curriculum for students, pupils to learn about.
For many countries of the world, building heroism is remembering national acts. And the line of Nigeria's national anthem says, "The labors of our heroes past shall never be in vain." Today, the call has been made again for the immortalization of Dr. Stella Adadevoh to serve as a lesson to Nigerian youth. Moya Thomas, TVC News, Abuja.
And now Moyo Thomas has more on this as she joins me live. Hello, Moyo. Following the honor conferred on the winner of the 1993 presidential election, Chief MKO Abiola, does this mean that it has given a boost to the calls by family and friends of Stella Adadevoh that she would be honored by the federal government in no distant future?
Obviously, this has been one of the push that one of the reasons they have kept the push on. Initially, the government said they posthumous, they don't give such award, GCFR especially posthumously. But since it has been given to people like MQ Abiola, Chief Gani Fawayemi, then it is there still there at the moment. There's no more reason, no more excuse not to also recognize and give us such an award.
Okay, will the National Honors Act also require a form of amendment, you know, to further clear the way for the honor to be conferred on Dr. Adadevoh?
There is no amendment because the 1964 award honorary constitution that they are actually basing it on does not stipulate conditions under which you can give to anyone. It only says someone that has done something of national, that has merited it nationally, that has done something great for the country. The conditions of whether you are alive or dead or you've been a past president is not stated in that law. So there wouldn't be any need for amendments going by the way it is at the moment.
Okay. What about family of Stella Adadevoh? Well, we heard more of the National Medical Association practitioners speaking there. What is their position? What honor particularly are they calling for their mother and daughter?
The only relative that was present today was a cousin, but when ECOWAS honored that, the son was present when ECOWAS gave the honor. And just like every other family member, every other professional colleague has been asking, the family also believe that it will go a long way to help at least be a kind of succor for them, losing her the way they did. And we all know that when you lose someone, you want a respite, and definitely giving her such a national honor will be a respite for the family.
Absolutely, it will be a closure for the Adadevoh family. Moyo Thomas, our correspondent, reporting from Abuja. Former head of state Yakubu Gowon is asking Nigerians, irrespective of their faith, to commit to more prayers for the nation. He says the days are evil and that the spiritual controls the physical. General Gowon said this in Kaduna when he visited state government officials to introduce his Nigeria Praise Project, which he says began in 1996.
Let us pray to him to really help us to deal with a lot of these problems that we have in Nigeria, in addition, of course, to the good work that all our leaders are doing to bring about peace for Nigeria.
This administration is not leaving any stone unturned in its quest for ending conflicts and strife in the state, uniting people and ensuring that everyone has equal opportunity.
You're watching TVC News. Coming up, United States President confirms death of ISIS leader. Stay with us for details of this and more after this break. Glad to have you back. You're watching TVC News. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has flagged off the governorship campaign of the All Progressives Congress in Kogi State, and it's happening 20 days to the election. State House correspondent Femi Akonde reports.
A crowded political campaign rally filled with party faithful in support of re-electing Yahaya Bello as governor of Kogi State. The vice president is here with the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress and governors of Ekiti, Niger, Kwara, Yobe and Nasarawa states. All they are asking the more than 1.6 million registered voters in Kogi State is to cast their ballots for the APC for Yahaya Bello and Edward Onoja.
That day, we must go out, everybody to his own polling unit. The only way to make sure that we get to the next level is by making sure that that day, all of us, everybody is APC that day, every single person. And we must go there and vote for Governor Yahaya Bello.
Governor Yahaya Bello and his running mate Edward Onoja will crisscross the length and breadth of the state to tell their scorecard to the people and pledge to do even more if re-elected. With just less than 1 month to election day, Governor Yahaya Bello's political camp may be swelling, especially with the recent endorsement of his candidacy by 45 political parties.
More progress, more development, people-oriented programs and projects all across the country, across the state, more security and more integration, more unity for the people of Kogi State. They should expect more and more and more. And I'm urging and calling all the people and the citizens of Kogi State and residents of Kogi State to please, in taking Kogi State to the next level, they should all join hands together with me so that we can do more.
Coming from my background, it's important for me, and I'm sure for the people of Kogi, a civil service state, that the governor has managed to do the unthinkable by paying the salaries which his predecessors never paid. And number two, he had built bridges across all the divides and reunite himself with the ordinary man and woman in the state.
The governor is known in every polling unit in Kogi State. He is known in the 239 wards in Kogi State. He has representatives in all the places. And in the State House of Assembly, which I'm a member, is 25/25. So I wonder how the opposition can beat that.
Stands a good chance. Before going to the venue, he did foundation laying for a bridge in terms of which I think is very good. It will increase the economic potentials of the area, not only Kogi and Edo as well. And we also commissioned some schools, which he did. So I think he should be given the opportunity to complete those ones he has started and he hasn't been able to finish, because if there is no continuity, then I believe the people of Kogi will move a step backwards.
The Independent National Electoral Commission says it is ready for the conduct of the governorship poll. Political parties are also putting their house in order ahead of a crucial election that will determine the fate of contenders for the top job in Kogi State. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Ida, Kogi State.
The Lagos State House of Assembly has issued fresh summons on former Governor Akinwumi Ambode to appear before it by 1 p.m. on Wednesday. This will be to inform the committee of the House of all he knows about some financial transactions during his tenure. In the invitation published in some newspapers, the lawmakers reminded Mr. Ambode of the importance of appearing before the committee to shed light on 5 alleged infractions raised by the Assembly. The former governor had shunned an earlier summons by the Assembly on October the 15th. The Speaker of the House of Representatives has assured Ondo State that the federal legislature has its interests at heart. Femi Gbajabiamila spoke at a reception to honor a federal lawmaker, Bumi Tunjioju. Ayodeji Moradeyo was there.
It was a gathering of federal lawmakers and notable indigenes of Ondo State. The lawmakers gathered at Okiagbe to honor one of their own, Bumi Tunjioju, representing Akoko Northwest and East constituency. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, was also present at the event. He used the occasion to thank lawmakers from Ondo State for their support for his emergence as the Speaker.
Thank you for giving us the gentleman who in particular we're celebrating.
Gbajabiamila said Ondo State has not had it so good in the House like the current session in terms of quality representation.
Let me very quickly say Ondo State, amongst every other state in the Federation, is the only state today in the House that every member of that state, whether PDP or APC, is represented on the committee leadership level.
Present, including federal lawmakers, stressed the need for mutual understanding among legislators.
Life itself is a journey, and you move from one point to the other. And in that journey is punctuated, and if you like, is marked by events.
To get anything you want to, you must be able to negotiate. And so what is taking place today is an indication of the capacity of the representatives from this state to build synergy with other colleagues.
Traditional rulers and top government functionaries also attended the event. Ayodeji Moradeyo, TVC News, Okiagbe.
What will be your reaction if you were asked this question? Do you know how to wash your hands? It sounds funny, but research has it that only 10% of Nigeria's population are adept at hand washing. To address this, a book for children on hand washing has been unveiled in Lagos. Ola Wakon reports.
Farid Ali and other children here undergoing a demonstration on hand washing. Only 1 out of every 10 children wash their hands properly with soap and water. This is according to the National Demographic Health Survey of 2008.
Wash your hands when you finish using the toilet. You wash your hands before you eat. You wash your hands after you eat. So the germs can go away and you you won't get sick.
This gathering brings to the fore the importance of hand washing and why children should be adequately educated. Author of Why Do You Wash Your Hands, Olubunmi Talabi Aboderin, says more people should be involved in the advocacy for a good hand washing culture.
This book, Why Do You Wash Your Hands, comes in English, Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo. In addition to the fact that this book has come out in the United Nations Year of Indigenous Languages, it's also been published, or rather, excuse me, it's been released in the month of global hand washing. In addition, the book has stickers. Now, not very many Nigerian children's picture books have stickers, and children love stickers.
You see African faces, African illustrations, African languages, and also it's highlighting and teaching children how to wash their hands. I'm not even a child, I'm an adult, and this book is a reminder that I should be washing my hands frequently.
The book also advocates encouragement of indigenous languages as the content is translated into Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo.
There's not enough books with different ethnic groups in it. So children need books that they can relate to. And that's the most important thing. You know, my daughter is Nigerian and she can now take a book that she can relate to as well. So it's very important.
We can run nationwide campaigns. So, for example, more publishers, more authors who are actually coming out and publishing campaigns or pushing initiatives like this, and not only in English, that cover all three of the languages and the other languages as well. So many of us are guilty of not teaching our children our mother tongue, and this just encompasses the importance of it, and it's an exciting thing to behold.
More than 3.5 million children die of diarrhea worldwide, which could be prevented by a simple act of hand washing. As simple as hand washing may seem, the author of this book believes a good hand washing culture will prevent many Nigerians from visiting the hospital. Ola Awakon, TVC News, Lagos.
And on the foreign scene, U.S. President Donald Trump has confirmed the death of the founder and leader of the Islamic State, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. President Trump says Baghdadi was killed in a raid conducted by the U.S. military in northwest Syria. He said the ISIL leader had ignited a vest he was wearing, leading to the mutilation of his body and the death of 3 children. He said Baghdadi was under surveillance for a couple of weeks and some planned missions were scrapped before the successful one was launched. President Trump thanked Russia, Turkey, Syria, Iraq and Syrian Kurds for helping in the very dangerous mission that he says led to Baghdadi dying like a dog and coward.
Al-Baghdadi is dead. He was the founder and leader of ISIS, the most ruthless and violent terror organization anywhere in the world. The United States has been searching for Baghdadi for many years. Capturing or killing Baghdadi has been the top national security priority of my administration. U.S. Special Operations Forces executed a dangerous and daring nighttime raid in northwestern Syria and accomplished their mission in grand style. The U.S. personnel were incredible. I got to watch much of it. No personnel were lost in the operation, while a large number of Baghdadi's fighters and companions were killed with him.
Baghdadi has been the subject of an international manhunt for years and has been incorrectly reported dead or injured multiple times. His death is another defeat for ISIS, losing its last stronghold in Syria in March. That's it on the news this hour. Don't forget to join our growing social media family by following us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at TVC News NG. You can also get details of all our stories and more on our website, tvcnews.tv. Thanks for staying with us. Bye for now.